Greetings, everyone. Rob Baker here with Matthews International. And today I just want to give you a brief recap of the ICCFA webinar last week that dealt on sales during the COVID-19 situation. And great panel, 5 experts in our industry. The only drawback was each one only had about 8 minutes to speak. Maybe even a few minutes less than that, and then they went on to questions, and the whole thing was about an hour long. I had some notes here that I thought were important that they were talking about that I just wanted to expand on a little bit. I gave you 3 of them already written, but I'm going to do this and then 2 extra ones. And I wanted to do this in video form today because sometimes the spoken word and the expressions and tone of voice can carry a little more weight for some people than just reading a simple post on Facebook. So I wanted to give you these and go over them in maybe just a little bit more detail. The first one I went over was the Family Emergency Record Guide. And if your cemetery isn't using this right now, I highly recommend it. And it's not a giveaway. This is not just something you haphazardly hand out to people as a bonus item and say, hey, fill this out and you've got a lot of stuff done. A Family Emergency Record Guide, and here's one that I created during my time with the Archdiocese of Boston. Although you can certainly find them anywhere. The ICCFA sells them, Matthews sells them, but it's an incredible tool. I did my own because I custom tailored it if we had to give it out. So there's a special introduction section in case I had to put this in the mail and then they never heard from me again. They didn't answer my phone call, respond to an email or a text. And it also has a section in the back that deals specifically with Catholic burials. So it was just a little more specific. But this is not a throwaway. This is a tool. And when presented properly, and if you don't have the training on it, there's people out there, heck, I'll even help you to learn how to use this. But there's a way to present this book page by page where you're getting the customer to agree with the importance of the information in this. And then it sets up the pre-need sale. If you've got them saying yes, you've got them saying yes. They see how important everything is. They see where they might have thought they had something taken care of, but perhaps they didn't. They see the importance of leaving this record guide for family members in the case of an emergency. Unfortunately, that emergency would be a death in the family, but everything is documented here. And like the way I always presented it was, it's just what the name says, Family Emergency Record Guide. It's for your family in a time of emergency that they will have a record to guide them through what can be one of the most chaotic, stressful, and confusing times of their life. But once again, it's not a throwaway. There's a proper way to use this book to generate sales. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll be more than happy to show you. There's consultants around the country that'll train you. I'll do it for free. It's that important and it's that great of a tool. The next thing that they focused on, or one of the things that they talked about that I thought should have gone into a little more depth if they had more time, was customers want to hear yes. One of the panelists mentioned that, hey, customers want to hear yes now more than ever. And that is the truth. Just like we want to hear yes when we're trying to do a pre-need sale, if you're in the sales side of things, customers want to hear yes when they're purchasing or when they go to a cemetery, anything. They just don't want to be told no in one of the most disturbing, stressful times of their life. When it comes to pre-need sales, there are some different ways that we can say yes. People are worried about money right now. Let's not kid ourselves. There's unemployment, I'm hearing, is right around 20%. People are just don't want to spend because hey, it's 20% now and I got a job right now, but what's going to happen a year from now? What's going to happen 6 months from now if there's a second wave or a third wave or there's that uncertainty. So what can you do? Can you offer longer payment plans or a lower down payment? Would that really hurt you? Can you charge interest? I know a lot of cemeteries. I did some work with one that only allowed families to pay off for 2 years. I know another cemetery that allows pre-planning for payments over 7 years. So I don't know where you are in that. But is there some wiggle room there? Can it be a new policy, not just a one-time thing for the pandemic, but will it help? What about guaranteeing them a little more peace of mind? When I was with the Archdiocese of Boston, we did two things. One was an unemployment certificate that we gave to families who were pre-planning. And we said, hey, listen, if unemployment should hit you, heaven forbid, we're there for you. Keep this certificate with your papers, and should it hit you, bring this to us with proof of the job loss, your record from Department of Labor, whatever. We're going to take care of those payments. We're going to put those aside for up to 6 months. Not going to be any extra interest on those. There's not going to be no late payment fees. We want to help you get through this. And by us putting off your payments for 2, 3, 6 months, we're going to do that because we want to help you. We are there for you. Cemeteries are an extension, as I mentioned in one of my posts, an extension of their inner circle, their community. Cemeteries are essential to many people. Let's show them that we step above and we are part of that community and we are working with them. We're there for them. Another thing we did was we offered family protection. Family protection was a certificate that we gave them, and while they were pre-planning, we said, heaven forbid your child should die, your minor-aged child should pass during this process. We want to give you a little extra protection. We're going to give you a free grave for your child should that occur. Now, we said it in a little better way than that, but that's the point. The point was we wanted them to know, hey, you're not only protecting yourself right now, but we're going to protect your family as well. Now, I'm going to tell you two little facts here. Well, one fact, but in two parts. One, with the unemployment certificate, if we had maybe 1 or 2 of those a year, that would be a lot. People worry about things that sometimes never come to pass. It was never a thing. As for the family protection, we never once during the pre-planning process, and we allowed 5 years on payments, never once did a child pass. But there's that peace of mind. There's that guarantee. We would tell them that. We would be right up front. We said we've never had to honor these. We've never had to honor one yet. But isn't that little extra protection? You're taking care of yourself. We're going to help you take care of the rest of your family as well. It was a tremendous thing. It showed goodwill. It was a little bonus. It brought more value to what we were giving them. So two great things. When it comes to memorialization, people want to hear yes. Can they make payments on it? Many cemeteries don't allow it. Is there a reason? You can charge interest. Matthews, I know for a fact, will hold the price for you. We'll hold it for 4 years. So if you're not even charging interest, but you're going to let them make payments for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, you don't have to worry about losing out because the price is held. So look into programs like that. So customers want to hear yes, and we can say yes to them. We're not going to throw all our policies and procedures out the window, but we're going to meet them, and we're going to do what we can for them now more than ever. Graveside decorations. Now this is up to your cemetery, but with people not making it out right now, can you do a little bit more? If your policy is throw the decorations away after 3 days, can it hurt to go for 7 days, maybe 5 days, at least past the weekend? If it was a Monday, give it, or a Tuesday, let the weekend visitors show up. Don't clear it off on Friday. With people getting out a little less, what can we do? So there's that. So the third thing was one of the panelists said, capturing email addresses. That's the key to 21st century success. I couldn't agree more. And I'm encouraging you, what I want to say about this at this time is capture those email addresses. And if your forms aren't geared to capture them, you need to change your forms. Email and text are two incredible ways to communicate with families these days. The phone call is out. There's some statistics, they're all over the board, but one says only 5% of phone calls made to a landline are answered, whereas 80% of all texts are looked at, or 85% of all texts are looked at. And emails coming from a reliable source, there's a statistic on how many of those are opened up. So email is fantastic, and it's low cost. If you want to send it mailing out, if you don't have even if you do have a permit, what are you looking at? 40 cents a letter? Email. Quick, easy, right from your desktop, and you can reach your audience. Start grabbing those, start organizing them. And then once you have them, there's so many incredible creative ways to use them. A quarterly newsletter. Keep them up to date on what's going on. What projects are being done in the cemetery. What can they look forward to? Invite them to special events, whether it's a holiday service, a remembrance service, All Souls Day. Whether, are you going to have a special cleanup event right before Memorial Day where they can come in and get some extra help because it's a Saturday or 2 Saturdays before Labor Day and you've got extra help there, or Memorial Day? Whatever it is, invite them. Not only will they show up, but their friends will show up, their family will show up. They'll say, hey, we're going out to so-and-so's grave, we're going to clean it up, or this is going on. They're having a tree lighting, and we get to hang an ornament on the tree in remembrance of, Dad, let's all go. One of the hardest things I've heard said, one of the things is it's vital to get the living into our cemeteries. The future success of our cemeteries depends on getting the living into the cemeteries now. These are fantastic ways. Let them know about cemetery news. Shoot out a quick email. Hey, and it can be anything. If the water's off, let them know. A water break and it's not going to be fixed for 2 weeks. Shoot out an email. Let them know. Don't let them get to the cemetery and then find out the hard way. I didn't bring water. Had I known this? Give them news that's important to them. And of course, don't be afraid to sell pre-need by email. Let them know of a package deal that's coming on or a new section that's opening and you're going to give them a discount on the price for the first 2 months. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't beat them over the head with it, because you can end up in that group that sends out too many emails. Listen, I love shopping at Kohl's. My wife has a Kohl's credit card, but I'll tell you what, I get it seems like 2 to 3 emails a day from Kohl's, when I think one a week would be enough. But so I don't even open half of them. And you want your emails to be open. So do the right thing. Know your customers, know the families you serve, and spread those emails out. Another thing they mentioned that I didn't go over in one of my posts was prospecting based on work orders. That's incredible. You do work for somebody, you straighten up the stone, you weed whack, whatever it is that they came in, and then you have somebody in the office look up and see which graves are available, and you let them know, hey, your mom is located in row 4, grave 7. Well, in row 5, grave 8, which is really, less than 10 feet away, really, by pacing it off, that grave is available. And we'd like to hold it for a week or 2 in case you or any of your family members are interested in being near this loved one. We would also do this, that's based off of a work order, so now you got their information, but we would also do this in my time as a cemeterian. If a section was just about sold out, we would let everybody in that section know, hey, there's 4 graves left. Here is where they are. And 9 times out of 10, we would sell that section out by sending out those letters or that email or making those phone calls, because there's always somebody who always meant to plan, but now we've made it the right moment. We've created a sense of urgency, immediacy. Now is the time for them. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, we would sell a section that was, 95% sold out. We'd be able to sell it out completely doing that. So one other thing as I close this out is one of the panelists said there's there's three M's when it comes to marketing. There's the market, the media, and the message. And he said right now in our industry, there's a fourth M, and it's moment. And that this COVID-19 has created a moment that many can relate to. And I truly believe that. And that's why I put these videos out, I make these posts. Now is not a time for us to go inside of our cocoon and wait things out. We need to be proactive. We need to serve our families. We need to step up our game. If we were only bringing our B game before, we need to bring our A game. We should always have our A game, but if we didn't have it, this is the time. The culture could change. We need to be proponents of the cemetery culture. We need to show them that we're there for them, that it's an extension of their community, that we understand them, that we want to be there, that we want to be part of the healing process, part of the grief process. You know, we want to be on the right side of things for them. And now is the time. This is a moment. Now, sure, there's going to be some people that see your message and say, oh my gosh, they're taking advantage. Don't worry about those people. That's the minority, and you're always going to find some Debbie Downers or some people that don't wholeheartedly agree with your message. But don't let that stop you from bringing your A game and realizing that this is the moment. And not that we're taking advantage of it, but we're recognizing it, and we're bringing some things forward that need to be brought forward. And now's the time. Now can be a big difference. Now you can bring your cemetery forward. I hope some of these notes helped you. If you like what you're hearing, down in the comments section is the link to our Facebook page. It's a private group for cemeterians where we have, you know, upcoming events, different trade association things going on, ICCFA stuff going on, helpful hints for cemeterians, some issues that some of us may be facing, things in the news. So take a look in the comments section and join the group. It's a new post every day, one post a day, and we feel it's informative. So I thank you for your time today. Enjoy.